Hey everyone, and welcome to FinTech. I'm probably gonna get some angry comments on this one, but we have some stuff we need to talk about. Dogecoin is the latest hot commodity in investing social media, with people like Elon Musk, Snoop Dogg, and even Mark Cuban all talking about it. Its recent publicity has brought with it some incredible rises in the price of the coin, with this price increasing 1,000% since the start of 2021 and almost 25,000% from the start of 2020. This rising price has seen some people's accounts showing incredible gains if they got in early, and fear of missing out is causing more and more investors to start piling into the coin as time goes on. Forget Wall Street bets, the Dogecoin subreddit now has 1.6 million followers, up 10 times from the start of the year when they had less than 200,000 followers. And while there have been pushes in past years to try to get the price of Dogecoin higher, this most recent push has been much more aggressive with the goal of pushing the coin to a valuation of $1. As I am filming this video, the price of the coin is currently sitting at 56 cents a coin. This rapid rise in Dogecoin's price seems to mirror similar movements in the past, including GameStop and AMC, with people saying they're going to diamond hand the coin and only sell when it gets to the moon. It's a combination of people just buying for the meme and people buying to try to get a quick buck, or maybe a lot of bucks. But under the surface, everyone seems to be asking the same basic questions. In fact, if you Google Dogecoin, these are the first questions that come up. Will Dogecoin reach $1? And more importantly, will Dogecoin make me rich? And in this video, I'm going to answer both of those questions. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, it's important to have some context for how Dogecoin got to where it is today. So let's take a brief look at the history of Dogecoin and how it fits into the larger crypto space. Dogecoin was started by engineers at IBM and Adobe, Markus and Jackson Palmer, who wanted to create a cryptocurrency that was more accessible to the public than Bitcoin. They decided to name it Dogecoin after the big Shiba Inu Doge meme that was popular at the time. This coin was originally a fork of another coin called Lucky Coin, which was in turn a fork of Litecoin, which originally forked off of the Bitcoin network. You can basically think of a fork like a split in the path of two coins. The coin can trace its roots back to the other coin, but each time it's forked, something is changed in the code or the parameters of the blockchain that make it unique. Some of these differences are readily apparent between, say, Dogecoin and Bitcoin, but there are also some major similarities between the coins. So let's first look at those similarities. Both coins process transactions in the same way. Crypto miners solve cryptographic puzzles in exchange for receiving some portion of the coins to them. The computing power from these miners is used to propagate the transactions across the blockchain network so that everybody knows which transactions have occurred. This is the fundamental benefit of the blockchain because it creates this distributed ledger system where everybody knows where the coins should be without needing any central authority to dictate who made what transaction. However, while with Bitcoin it takes around 10 minutes for these transactions to complete, also called solving the block, with Dogecoin this can happen much faster at only 1 minute per block. Additionally, Bitcoin has a maximum number of coins that will ever be minted, 21 million. Right now, every time a Bitcoin block is solved, the complexity of solving the next block increases incrementally. Additionally, every 3 to 4 years, the value paid out to miners for solving a block cuts in half, an event called the halvening. So Bitcoin will continue to become harder and harder to mine with less and less payout over time until eventually it has paid out all 21 million coins that will ever be minted. With Dogecoin, it's different. In the case of Dogecoin, there is no limit on the number of coins that can be minted. Every time a block is solved, 10,000 coins are issued to miners, meaning that there are approximately 10,000 new Dogecoin created every minute. And that's going to go on forever. So that leads us to our first question. Can Dogecoin hit $1 per coin? And the clear answer to that question is yes. There's no reason it can't. Right now, Dogecoin is trading at 56 cents a coin, and the total market cap valuation of all the Dogecoins combined is $73 billion. So we can actually calculate how much that market cap needs to increase in order for each coin to be worth $1. All we need to do is divide $1 by the current price of 56 cents, and then multiply that by the $73 billion total market cap to come out to a final market cap value of $130 billion. So in order for Dogecoin to reach $1, all we theoretically need to do is add $57 billion in additional value into the coin. Will it hit that number? Maybe, or maybe not. Comparing that market cap to the market cap of some existing cryptocurrencies, that would put it at around half the market cap of Ethereum, which currently has a valuation of $350 billion, and it would just be a fraction of Bitcoin's total market cap at over $1.1 trillion. It would also be just ahead of Binance Coin's $96 billion, which would actually make Dogecoin the third largest cryptocurrency in the world. Not bad for a coin that has a dog on it, but also not totally outside the realm of possibilities. But who actually cares if the price hits $1? What's magical about that price? It seems like the real question that people are asking is, will Dogecoin make us all rich? And there's a relatively simple answer to that too. No. It will not make us all rich. Dogecoin gets its value from the money that people put into purchasing coins. It does not in itself create value in the same way that a stock in a company can. For example, if you buy a Tesla stock, Tesla is actually creating new value by going out and selling cars. If you buy Google stock, Google is creating value by selling advertisements. Dogecoin is not like that. So while we could all theoretically put a ton of money into Dogecoin and make its price go up dramatically, the most money we could ever withdraw from the coin is exactly the same amount that we all collectively put in. But that's on the level of all Dogecoin investors combined. What if I'm an investor who put $10,000 into Dogecoin at the start of the year and now I'm a millionaire? Why can't I just pull all my money out right now and get rich? Well, I can, but when I do that, I'm effectively just taking that money from somebody else and putting it in my own pocket. Unlike with company stocks, Dogecoin is a zero-sum game. Dogecoin doesn't create value, it's just a store of value. In fact, it actually does worse than store value because over time, the value of individual Dogecoins will actually drop naturally. I mentioned earlier that Bitcoin has a hard limit of 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be minted. That's the hard cap that will be reached in 2040. This automatically creates scarcity because after that point, no matter what you do, you can't create more Bitcoin. Dogecoin, on the other hand, has an inflationary supply. We will never stop minting Dogecoin as long as there are people out there to mine it. So if we use the law of supply and demand, as the supply of Dogecoin continually increases, there will naturally be a pressure on the price of the coin to drop over time, unless there are enough investors to continually push money into the pot in order to keep the price high. This makes it much more difficult to sustainably increase the price of Dogecoin in the same way you might with Bitcoin. So how big of an impact are those 10,000 new coins per minute actually generating on Dogecoin? Well, if you look at the number of Dogecoin out there, that equates to around a 5% increase in the supply of Dogecoin each year. Now, over the next several years, that percentage will drop over time as 10,000 coins becomes a smaller and smaller percentage of the overall number of Dogecoin that are already out there, but it will never drop to zero. And this was intentional. If we look at one Dogecoiner from back in 2014, when Jackson Palmer announced that they would make Dogecoin inflationary, ShineKM said, "Fantastic decision. Now it has a realistic chance of becoming a usable currency instead of some bizarre speculative asset for early adopting hoarders." Part of the justification for building inflation into Dogecoin was to avoid exactly what's happening right now. People speculating on the price of the coin as opposed to using it as a currency. Remember when people used to think that Bitcoin would be a currency before they realized most people were just holding it as an investment and not using it for transactions? Well, I think the exact opposite ought to happen with Dogecoin. People are investing in it when they should be spending it. One of the positive signals for Dogecoin going higher over the past few months has been billionaire investor and entrepreneur Mark Cuban's support of the coin.
And then you got Dogecoin, which is just fun, but the weird part about it, it went from being a cryptocurrency joke to now becoming something that's becoming a digital currency. At the Mavs, we sell a lot of merchandise for Dogecoin.
In that clip, Mark talks about how Dogecoin went from being kind of a joke to something that people can actually use to buy Mavs gear. He's talking almost like it's a foregone conclusion that Dogecoin will be used as a currency, and while it might retain its value better than, say, a lottery ticket, he doesn't advocate using it as an investment. I wouldn't buy merch using shares in Tesla stock. I would buy merch using a currency like dollars or maybe eventually Dogecoin. But you might say, all these celebrities are talking about Dogecoin right now, and it's causing the price to get driven up over time. I'll just make sure to sell it before the price drops again. You can definitely do that, as long as you're fully aware that you are treating Dogecoin like a pump and dump that you're going to profit from, at least until there's some kind of SEC regulation around things like this. But I'm personally not going to do that, because when you sell your coins, you are literally taking value from other people and just putting it in your own pocket. This isn't like the GameStop short squeeze when people were extracting money from short selling hedge funds and then bringing that down to retail investors. No, most of the people buying Dogecoin are just retail investors like you and me. Even if we look at the celebrities talking about Dogecoin, none of them really seem to be buying it in any significant way. In that Mark Cuban clip, he seemed to be using Dogecoin mostly as a way to promote his Mavs business by generating some publicity. When Elon Musk tweets about Dogecoin, he's obviously memeing because that's pretty much what he does on Twitter. And when Snoop Dogg or Gene Simmons talk about Dogecoin, yeah, maybe they're really into the technology, but more than likely they're also just trying to generate some easy publicity that they see as totally harmless. One thing that I've heard heard people say is that what if Elon Musk starts allowing people to buy Teslas using Dogecoin? At that point, Tesla, a huge company, is going to effectively be investing in Dogecoin, right? Well, realistically, if Tesla decides to do this, as soon as you pay for your Tesla in Dogecoin, they're going to immediately take that Dogecoin and convert it to dollars because it's so much more stable. Companies allowing you to purchase items in Dogecoin is just good marketing. It doesn't necessarily mean they believe in the coin. So will Dogecoin keep going up? Maybe. There's nothing that says it can't. Will it make all its investors rich? No, it can't do that because it doesn't create value. It actually loses value if left to its own devices. So the problem with Dogecoin at this point is it's a speculative bet on a less than zero-sum game where the majority of holders mathematically have to lose money. And that's not a bet that I'm willing to take. So let me know if you have a different perspective on Dogecoin. I would actually love to hear it in the comments. Also, this video will most likely have an above average number of dislikes because it's kind of going against the grain of what's popular right now. So if you did enjoy the video, please just hit the like button and let me know. I'll see you next time.